Ta-da! Made it. Whew. Hmm. 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 If you hear, you're probably needing a breath. You need a deep inhale and a deep exhale. If you made it here, you need a deep breath. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Inhale. Exhale. Okay. Now we can get started. It's Wednesday. It's Wednesday, everybody. Um, so as excited as I can be about it being Wednesday, woo! Hump day. Hump day. It's Wednesday. Bruh. That's why it got called Hump Day. Not only is it smack dab in the middle of the week, but it is like you gotta get over some excuse me. Wait, sorry. I should introduce myself. I should give y'all my disclaimer. So y'all know who I am for real, for real. So welcome to Embodied Spirituality. I'm your lovely host and moderator for Spirit, Ashante Marie. Um, Disclaimer. I like to cuss, but I'm not like an overly cusser. I just like to use the F word, here and there. And maybe shit or the S word, here and there. But nothing too crazy. I don't go too left because I try and keep it cute. Which I'm glad that Spirit was like, let's be a little bit cuter today. Let's show your color scheme in. Okay, with your glasses. I may take these off halfway through this because I'm gonna be distracted by the glare. Already. But I'm happy to be here. Oh, that was my short disclaimer. That was it. Like I cuss a little bit. I don't think I'm going to be sharing anything too like that needs another disclaimer. So, anyways, Hump Day. It's Wednesday. Is anybody else tired? Today I am tired AF, low key. Okay. And I don't know if it's just because like it's the turn of the season. Like right now for me, it's mid-July. I don't know when you're watching this, but right now it's like mid-July. So you feel the turnover of like, it was summer to like, summer's leaving sort of vibes, which feels like a hump day to me. I just feel like that's where we're at in life today. You know what's funny? As I contemplate saying hump day and looking around like my place, because I do have more hearts on the wall than just this one, but just like they're both humps, right? So like it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. It's just something we gotta get through. We may have to tussle a little bit, but something we have to get through. Also, I wanted to shout out my little image because if you like look closely at the thumbnail, you can see the camel. You see, I'm trying to talk or like connect it back to the fact that like it's a Mercury day, it's communication day, it's a we're gonna deal with some stuff sort of day, and that and that it's Wednesday if you don't want to call it anything else. But yeah, at the back of the camel, the AI generator, image had like you can see like a cougar coming out the backside of the camel. And it's like, and, oh, right. And the whole reason why it looks a little like disheveled, because I feel like today is like a mixed media day. Like when I was, asking Spirit, what is this video gonna be about today? What's the video on the Spirit, or what's like the name? What's the title? And I was like, it's mixed media. It feels mixed media. And I was like, okay, but are people gonna resonate if I call it that? Like, I don't know. Maybe artists will, but like I really want this to resonate with, everybody that's meant to come across this video. If you came across this video, yay you, yay us, yay us. Okay. Um, but it had a cougar coming out the backside, and I was just like, that's really indicative of what it feels like today. It's like you're trying to keep your cool. You're trying not to come out of good. Also, I say ass, obviously. Come out your ass. You know what I mean? Like not trying to lose your shit. You are not trying to lose your shit. That's where the phrase come out your ass. Right? You're not trying to lose it. You're trying to contain your shit and process it the best way that you can. So, shout out to you getting through this day. And even if it's not hump day for you, maybe it's feeling like one. It may not be Wednesday for you, but it may really be feeling like one. And that's okay too. That's okay too. The weather is a little bit meh today. I think that also added to the like energy because I felt like it was sunnier yesterday and today it felt a little bit more fall is coming. So, weather can always change, how you feel. But I did go by the marina earlier today and I felt good and it was still like not too cloudy yet. So like I brightened up. Today it was a mixed media day for sure. It was like I had some good parts, I had some tense parts, I had some beautiful parts, I had some exhausted parts, I had some frustrated parts. I had some like joyous parts. I had some gratitude. So the other like, oh, that was supposed to be the subtitle. I almost forgot, but maybe I'll edit that later. Or, maybe it's yeah, I don't think it's for another time. I definitely think maybe it's just a part of the message that I'm going to be talking about. Maybe I'll write it in the comments later. Who knows? Or the description box later. But the secondary name that I was going to name this before I got home, right? I went to work this morning, came back home, went to work later, came back home, and now I'm here. This is that. And I'm grateful for like the day that I had. It was a busier day than I've had in the last couple of weeks. Um but again, like I said, I'm like super grateful for that because then I know I could take care of my business. Okay. I could take care of my business and I actually enjoy what I do. So it was nice. And also to kind of be reminded of being in that state of flow. Like, because last week was really like I had some time to breathe and I didn't want to put pressure on myself around being at the rink more than I needed to, just for the fact of like, I'm not going to get these breaks often. Once things start sometimes for me at the rink, it kind of just keeps going. It keeps going for a long while. And I'm usually like, oh, I need a break, which is also something that I just want to manifest um, for this upcoming future is for the very near future is to just have more balance with the busy season. Like I said, I like being busy. I like, doing the work that I do. So I just want to be balanced with it so I can be the best version of me while I'm doing it. Because when I start to exhaust myself, when I start to wear myself thin, I'm not the best. I don't have the most patience. I don't have the clearest insight, even, you know? And like, that's what I want to do. The sign that I can see right now says built to last. I'm trying to be built to last. Okay. We're not trying to do none of that other stuff. We're built to last. And maybe that needs to be my little catchphrase mantra shift for myself. There's so much I want to talk to you guys about today. I have like 1,000 things on the brain. That's also why it's called mixed media, because there's like so many things that I want to talk about, and I don't feel like they seem like they all necessarily feed into each other, but I'm pretty sure that they all do in some sense. Or it's just one of those days where you have to contemplate many things and, delegate and reappropriate like certain things just to make everything go back into a better flow for the latter half of the week. So where are we going? Oh, that part. I did say that I was going to talk to y'all about being grateful. That was supposed to be the subtitle, was being grateful. I was grateful today. Like, and I'm grateful right now as we speak. I'm so grateful. I definitely had moments where I was like, oh, I'm really frustrated. Oh, I'm really stressed about this. Like, I'm really tired and I don't feel like doing none of this. But I was like, no, Sade, be grateful. And not in like in a mean way of like, no, you need to be grateful for what you have. You know? I feel like I have all my words today in a not a begrudging. What's the word that I'm looking for? Not belittling. I don't know. But in like a beating like sort of way, like you don't it doesn't have to be that. It doesn't have to be that. I really was telling myself to be grateful, and I was grateful. Like I said, like have things around you and draw appreciation for the small stuff. I went to the marina and that was the thing. I ran an errand after work, and then because it has me coming from a different direction, I'm getting off at a slightly different exit. And I was like, oh, since I'm getting off at this exit, that means I'm close to the marina. I was like, I could either go straight home or I can go to the marina and then go home. Right? And isn't that the best of both worlds? Isn't that what we're going for? This day really has something to do with like union. It really feels like a 7. It feels like a journey or a pathway, and like learning to appreciate the journey. Because every day isn't about, have I made it there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Ooh, God has their way. Are we there yet? Are we there yet? And it's like, we'll be there when we get there. Like, you're headed there. You're headed there. So enjoy the journey, and then like, what are you supposed to learn today? And like, what's on the lesson plan today? And it's just like a grade, I guess. Being in school, I can always analogize things to school. It may be triggering for some people because school is not for everybody, but school was my thing. Is my thing. It'd be sometimes. I'm currently on a break. I will go for my doctorate when I'm ready for it. when I feel like it. Nope, that's not the words I'm trying to use. When it's time, when it's divine timing, I will be getting my doctorate. How about that? As I roll up my sleeves, such a confirmation for me. So, anyways, where was I? Being grateful. Right or left? Going to the marina. So I decided to go to the marina. And that was great. And I was like, I don't really want to be here that long, but I want to be with nature for a little bit, right? Like, I need to just be with nature a little bit. I'm tired. I'm probably gonna I'm gonna need to go home sooner rather than later. So I'm not gonna spend like 30, 45 minutes, but I can spend 10. I can spend 10. So sat there, looked at the water, looked at these trees, looked at the birds, noticed the colors, let my thoughts wander, right? Because that's the point. You need to just like wander a little bit. Um, And isn't that a part of being on the journey? Like wandering a little bit off path, like, or wandering over to like, and not off path, it's on path. That's just like a little extra storyline. It's a little extra episode, right? Like you're really just journeying to a little episode to go back to the main destination. Like, isn't that such a beautiful way to look at all of this stuff? Oh my word. I swear. It you look, if y'all really start, I really encourage everybody to have their time to create their own relationship with the divine and spirit and make it stronger, as you know that you probably should, here and there, because they be getting me every time. It'd be the best. It'd be the best. They make me laugh. It's the best. It's the best. And they catch me off guard. It's something, what's funny and what I'm excited about in this journey, right? Is like, as I talk to you guys about things, I'm also learning things. And like, I can come out here with a plan and know that I'm saying one thing, but I have other stuff going on in the background that's not just this video, right? Um, so sometimes the messages that I'm channeling are like messages that I really needed to hear and that make such a big impact on the large grand scheme of my life. And it becomes just really beautiful. It's like beautiful. It's laughable because it's so funny how spirit be working. Spirit be trying to do the thing. It be, anyways. Be in nature. Develop your relationship to the spirit guides, your ancestors, the angels. Okay, God, the God in you, the God in you, the God in you, the God in you. Okay. Um. So that was nice. I had my time there. I came home. I put some of the things that I needed to put away. And I was tired. I was like, I thought I got enough sleep last night, but I kind of woke up in like a mood that was draining my energy a little bit. And even though I was like working through it a lot, sometimes when you're trying to stay positive, when things don't always feel the best, it's a little bit more effort than just feeling the best, thinking the best, you know? So I felt a little tired. And then also showing up for other people, because being in a coaching atmosphere, being in a public eye, and being in the public eye, I believe you should carry yourself in a certain way. And I'm not always perfect by any means, but you must be mindful of what it looks like. Like, what does this look like? Girl, spirit is out here. I did okay. Also, there's so many things I want to say. There's so many things. It's like everything wants to go spilling out of my mouth. That's what it says. That's what I said earlier too this morning when I was on the ice teaching. I was just like, there's so much I want to say. I need to say stuff. These are all the notes for all your things. You can hear my neighbors. That's the funny thing about being in tune, is what it sounds like. One thing that Also, was really big about this morning was reframing, right? That's the whole thing about being grateful is like reframing what you think or reframing how you're viewing your situation or the situation, right? Changing perspectives, very hangman vibes too. But that's like, I know I'm putting myself into this position. This is a different. This is like the wheel of fortune and being on the other side of it and being like, whoa, this is a different view. This is a different view. Like, I don't hate it. It's just really different. It's a little more distorted and clear in ways. Like both realities hold truth. Both realities hold truth. Um, but you have to choose what you want is a message. Okay, too, because what I was going to talk to y'all about was my lesson this morning with my student. She, and this is just like such a, it was so, I loved the experience of that with her because this student in particular is like, she's a strong skater. She just got back from a vacation. So her body is starting, like her mind, body needs to still like arrive all the way back here. Um, and but she still like looked good and she still was strong looking and her edge quality was nice and I was like, oh yes, I'm excited, so I'm gonna push her and I'm gonna push her because she's strong, right? She tried to act like la, but when I push her she be like showing up, right? And she likes a challenge. Like there's some people who don't get invigorated when it's not a challenge, right? If everything is easy, it's just like, okay, I got that. But when it's a little bit hard, when it's a little challenge, when you gotta fight for it a little bit, you be like, yeah, I heard that shit. You're like, yeah, I heard that shit. Bruh, so, there's a piece of her that I see that she's like, I like the challenge. But like sometimes, just as a coach, you gotta pull it out of her a little bit. And this morning though, she was like saying this mantra that she freaking says to herself all the time, or before was, I'm scared. And I'm like, girl, first of all, you're not even scared. Like, that's the funniest part. Like, if you see, I don't know, maybe her body doesn't show it, or maybe her emotions don't show it. Maybe I could be reading the picture wrong, but like, it doesn't come off as if she's scared. Okay. When she says she's scared, it's just like she's nervous and maybe she's like a little scared. Like it frightens her a little bit, right? It's new, it's uncomfortable, right? But she really doesn't like come off as scared. So I'm no. Like today, especially because I woke up feeling the tug of war. Today, since I woke up feeling the tug of war, I was like, oh, we not about to sit in this shit today. We not doing this. Okay? We not sitting in I'm scared. You just got back here. What? You too strong. Like, you too strong. And even before that, when she was showing me other stuff, and I was pushing her to do like, nope, do this one more time. Nope, do this one more time. Two sides on this foot, two sides on the same foot. Right? And she's like, oh, I'm tired, or like, oh, but she's doing it and it looks good, you know? And it gets stronger every time. And as I was pushing her, I was like, do it one more time. I was like, I ask you because you're strong. Like, come on, let's go. Like, you're just so strong. Like, I just want to see how strong. Like, that's so funny. That's probably really how God is. Like, we always try and talk about like people being tested by God. And there's like this debate, like, does God test us? Like, I don't believe God tests us. But I think it's just like God pushes us to be stronger, is probably the message. Because after my student would do one foot down the side, I'm like, yeah, that was okay, but like, I want to see it again. And I was like, it's because you're so strong. Like, I just want to see it again because you're so strong. And like on the inside, it's because I know that you can do it better too. Like, I know that you can do it just a little bit cleaner, just a little bit more mind focused, because it's not like it's not there. It's not that it's not there. It's just mind focused. I'm like, lock in, lock in, lock in, lock in. Bruh, all of these messages is wild today. Wild. Wild. Um, and and so that was the start of it. So I was like already, feeding her good mantras, right? You're so strong. Come on. You're so strong. So then at this point, when she had gotten to like, I'm scared, I'm like, first of all, like, yeah, no. And no. And then no. So what we're gonna do today, we're gonna reframe. We're gonna reframe your thought process. Because how you're thinking about it, how you're going about it, what you're telling yourself, it's not quite in alignment with what you're really capable of, you know. Um, and so I was like, let's find a different word. And so I like pulled up just like, Google or whatever, and like looked for some antonyms first of scared. And I was like, that's not doing it. Then I was like, well, let's get the synonym of confident. And I was like, because confidence wasn't hidden, because it can be so ambiguous. Confidence just like can be framed so many different ways depending on what area you're looking at it like. And so then one of the words that she saw was poised. She was like, I'm poised, I'm poised. And again, ambiguous, right? That is confidence, being poised or together in one way. That's one version of confidence. And I was like, that's not what we're using. And like she didn't want to use the word brave, which was fine. Like not everybody has to use the same word. That's the point of the whole thing. The whole thing. We don't have to use the same word. Um, and she was like, girl, message. She was like, oh no, at a certain point I was just like assertive. Like assertive, right? Because I didn't like the word aggressive, being black, I'm like, let's not use that word. She's not black, but let's not use that word. Okay. And I don't mind like acknowledging the aggressive side of myself, but I needed to be clear in what, like, who's using it, when, and where, or how. Okay. But with my student, we picked assertive. I said, that sounds good. We both have A names. So, like, we vibe with A words. And so she went for it. So then every time that she was like, I'm scared, she was like, I'm assertive. She's like, I'm assertive. And then she would go and do it though. Like it was such a good switch for her. And you could see it working so quickly. And granted, it's going to have to be something that's practiced like more days in than days out, right? It needs to be more practiced. But it was such a beautiful shift to watch. And like even as she was trying to say I'm scared, because she knew that she was replacing the word with assertive, her brain would also be like a little like, I'm assertive. And then she's like almost like, I am? What? Did somebody just give me a compliment? Like that's what it feels like a little bit. Did somebody just give me a compliment? Did somebody just tell me they love? Did somebody tell me that they were proud of me? But it was you telling yourself that you're proud of yourself. Mm. in the moment. Your higher self telling you, I am assertive. I know my worth. I know I'm great. I got this, right? So today is like, what are we telling ourselves? Right? That's why I put it on the thing. The things we tell ourselves. That's so funny. Um, yeah, brain regeneration. If you want to look more into it, it's also really called neuroplasticity. You can look into it yourself. There's, I'm sure, plenty of videos out there. There's some books too. Okay. What else did I want to talk about today? Was there something more with the shift? There, yeah, I mean, I had another lesson with a student that was definitely like, we got to change this mindset. Yeah, because she kept telling herself, like, different body parts of hers were weak. That was wild. I was like, oh, so we got to do the same. And that's the thing that's cool sometimes too when you're teaching a lot. Like, you may have similar things come up in different people's lessons, like, because that may be the energy. Like, everybody may be in this mixed energy. Everybody may be in a space of needing to redefine it in a better way for themselves, or have a better positive outlook. Like, everybody's in this tug of war. It felt like that. Even the energy with, yeah, so many different people I came across today was kind of just like in this, and it's like nobody was bad. Everybody was good. Everybody was good. Everybody was good. But everybody felt like they were wrestling with something a little bit today. So, anyways, her like her thing that she was telling herself was like, I'm this body part is weak. Like, oh, my shoulder is weak, or my back is weak, or my leg is weak, or my arm is weak. And I was just like, girl, what? You tell me something is weak every week. Every week you're telling me something about something being weak. Can we cut it out? Can we cut it out? Because that's funny. That's fun in games or whatever. In the pun world. But like, over in reality, like, you're, first of all, you're not. First of all, you're not. Back to this. Back to like the lie. Back to the, like, let's cut the lie. Because she said, oh, my back was like, no, it's not actually. It's not. And you know how I know it's not? Because I already saw you do this other stuff with a really nice, strong back. Huh? Tired, fatigued, maybe. I don't know. But like, and I don't think that's really what she meant, you know? But definitely not weak. Maybe unpracticed. Maybe needs to be trained a little bit more, needs to be strengthened a little bit more, but it's not weak. It's actually very strong. And it's like, what are you telling yourself? So, how many times throughout your life, a day, a month, a freaking decade, are you telling yourself that you're weak? You know, like I said, let's cut it out. And so we didn't do the full homework on the ice of like picking a word, but I told her, because she was a little bit older, she's an adult. She's my peer. I think we're the same age, or she's like days older than me or something. I don't even know, but it's close. Yeah, I think she's like days older than me. But I'm like, you can do the work. I'm giving you this homework. You got this. You got this. So, I'm still hearing all the messages, God. Let me just be clear. I hear you. I hear what you're saying. Okay. Oh, yes. That brings me into it. Because I was just thinking about this person. But then in my brain, this other person's name came up as if that person was that person. And I'm like, no, no. Like that just happened live and on camera. And that was actually like the next subject. It's starting to get cold because I don't know if spirit is shifting. Probably the message is shifting. That's what this is. That's what it is for real. The message is shifting. Okay. We'll get back into some like light, fluffy stuff a little bit later, maybe. But the one thing that I wanted to come to, which is indicative of the fact that it is Wednesday, Mercury Day, a day ruled by Mercury. And the fact that we, like I mentioned the other day, are going into a Mercury retrograde. So this is the pre-shadow. Felt like it. Pre-shadow. And so depending on how privy you are to like the energies or the signs and the signs and the messages going on around you, um, you you might be a little bombarded with a lot of thoughts or messages, or hopefully God, not messages, but I guess it's messages from the divine, messages from like exes, like or past people, maybe not even like exes that you were actually in a relationship with, but like past people that probably really had a huge part to play in how you formulated relationships, and I will say specifically with the sex that you're interested in. So if you're interested in the opposite sex, then I'm talking about that. If you're interested in the same, that's what I'm talking about. If you're non-binary or pan or whatever, whoever you deal with that is presenting the counterpart of who you are. May be really informative. The relationships you have with some of the other people in your past that have played that sort of role in your past could really be popping up, because today, when I tell you, I low-key was so irritated with seeing all the people's names or having their thoughts or either their names would pop up in like visual, I could see it written somewhere, or they would pop up when I'm thinking about somebody else in particular, or like, or even what their song pops up on your fucking like shuffle, right? Where you're just like, ugh. And I'm okay with like listening to some of these songs a different day, but today, when I feel like there's so many different people around, today I said, sing, oh, bro, someone's ghost, okay? As we're getting into the season, as we're getting into Mercury retrograde, as we even get into like, because another layer or another fashion around working with this energy is during this autumn season 2, but that's on another spiritual level, which maybe feel a little bit Mercurier. I didn't even mean to say that, but that's what came out, Mercurier. But like murkier, you know what I mean? Both and, both and, okay. But yeah, unfortunately, this is the season where a lot of people are going to be coming up. And a couple of things that I want to highlight about this is one, you know, you may not be able to do it right in the moment, but as they come up and as you have those days, like maybe actually take to journaling a little bit or vlogging or whatever, helps you get your thoughts out of you in a way that is recorded, so that you can go back and you can ask yourself, you know, further follow-up questions about what's coming up for you. So I know at some point, because of the names that have been coming up, I'm gonna need to write out like a couple of things about why are those names coming up in relation to like the person that I may be thinking of, um, or why those people are popping up just in general. Because even when I went to the store today, I told you I went to the grocery store, and as I was like about to exit, there was like a guy, like a couple walking in. And I didn't really notice the girl as being a couple because they were like a couple feet apart at first and then they got together. So I saw him walking at first and I'm like, because I really thought it was about to be him. Like the person, I was like, please, God, don't let me see him up in this store. Okay. I'm just trying to get out of the store. Okay. Do not let me see him up in this store. And thank God it wasn't him. But it was like, why am I seeing his ghost? Why is his ghost around? I thought we already settled this recently. Like, why is your ghost hanging? Why is it lingering? But I feel like there's so many different people. So the last or yes, whenever the last video that I made that I was talking about like kind of moving on past this energy, I now it's not like just one person popping up. So before it felt like it was just that person popping up a lot. And I was like, and God helped that process. But now I feel like there's all of these different ones that are popping up, and it's making me need to explore those relationships in how it has formulated maybe some of my preconceived thoughts about the person that I'm talking to without telling all my business. Excuse me. That was spirit. You know what's so funny? If y'all watch the day, why can't I say her name right now? Jadina. There we go. Um, she's always like confirmation burp. That felt like it. That felt like it. I don't be getting those, but that definitely felt like that was that. So yeah, needing to let go of that. But exploring that, I need to like write it out. And why are these people coming up? Because definitely, it's like each person has come up 2 or 3 times. Even one of the new students that I got this week is the name of like my first boyfriend. I was like, I haven't dealt with a one of y'all's in a long time. Like, why are these names coming up? Why is everybody? But you know what, too? And this is not a love message. And this is, I mean, maybe it is. This is a love message, always to God. But like, I always told myself, or I always assumed, I would say, or thought that when I decide or when I'm really like rounding the corner of like who my life partner is, or yeah, who my life partner is, or what some people would call kingdom spouse, but like, which I feel, or soulmate, I guess, but like it's more than a soulmate, it's like destiny mate, you know? I felt like anytime that I would be getting like closer and being pulled closer to that person, that all of my exes were gonna come pop up out of the woodworks, and it's kind of feeling like that's what this is a little bit. But maybe it's just like the beginning, like the first layer of unappealing or whatever. But it just feels like a lot of exes and or a lot of people that I either liked or had long relationships with in some sort of frame capacity, like they are coming up, and I'm like, okay, you can stay where you were. Like nobody is checking for you. Nobody is checking for you. So that was something I needed to talk to you guys about. I'm definitely gonna have to do another video about like be grateful and that song and mixed with the other song. Um, I already talked to y'all about being with water. Ah, here we go. As I want to take a sip. That's so funny. Um, I did pour out some margarita for my spirit guides, spirit teams, ancestors, the Most High. So I had a little bit of that. Um, but also, what's been on my mind pretty heavy today is examining my overindulgences, right? Um, things that I've been overindulging on. One thing that I've been grateful for, just to, reframe. One thing I've been grateful for is that I haven't been watching as much TV. I have been watching like some videos on my phone, but it's definitely a different energy, like it's a different vibration level than what I would normally be watching on TV. Like I may watch a little bit today, um, or later tonight, but I have been grateful for that in a distraction sort of way in these last 2 weeks. Like I haven't been watching as much. But speaking of, so quantity, quality. And didn't I write down that word on the other page? God be trying to work. Oh, I'll be so excited because it be working. Okay. Quality. I wrote down on the other page, right? Talking about the meeting of minds and all that stuff, or like being on the journey, mixing quality with quality. Like quality with quality. Like, what does that even mean? I wrote that word down in regards to like I'm like, oh, my skin looks like nice and good. It's been like at a good moisture point, right? Um, even before I took my bath yesterday. Um, even before I jumped in, I was like, man, this skin is looking nice and moisturized. And even today, after yesterday, I'm like, ooh, my skin looks nice. Like, And I was thinking about mixing quality with quality. So I have shea butter that I make, right? And I'll, link that at some point. Or, pop it into a future video, a future video near you. Okay. Um, and there's this other like brand, the Ahava brand. Shout out to Ahava, right? I do have their hand cream right here. In a minute. Shout out to Ahava though. They have really great skincare. So this mineral hand cream is great, and I have their body cream. But it's supposed to be using like Dead Sea water. And when I tell you, it has like a different, and the smell is usually like, right? And so that's the same way that I feel about my own product. Like I'm like, the texture is like, and the smell is like, oh, right? And like, but it's like that's so crazy that this is the message today. It's so good. They hold different weights and properties in both spirit. They hold different weights and properties in both it's like each one is something magical in a way. Like it's like the water that's used in this one mixed with whatever else and whatever else, right? Because it's a lighter, and I feel like because I work I'm in cold air, it was frigid today. I need something that's a little bit more like going stick to my skin, or not stick to my skin, but like keep me insulated. I need it to keep me warm. I need to keep moisturized because it's easy to be having cracked skin out here in these ice rink streets. Okay, let me just tell you that it's easy to be good and crackly. Okay. so so I try to make sure that like I stay, moisturized well. So because I was running low on my own and I need to be making some more, um I'll probably be better to start tomorrow morning. Um Making some more for myself. I needed to marry the two together. That's what I was gonna say. Make some more of my own. Marry the two together. This I feel like God is really putting me with this person, and I don't understand. Like, I mean, I'm so grateful. Let me just tell you, I'm so 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 so. I'm feeling so grateful. I'm feeling so grateful. Oh, I gotta do two more or one more. I'm feeling so grateful. I'm feeling so grateful. Oh yes, that's it. I'm feeling so grateful, so grateful, gratefulness. Something like that. I don't know. If you know the song, you know the song. But marrying the two together to like to make it last, spread, like to cover the whole surface. I'm gonna have to get off this live soon because spirit, it's a little overwhelming. It's a little overwhelming. And that was something that I was going to tell y'all yesterday about like, sometimes when you do get downloads and it's a lot from God, like, it's like winning the lottery, bro. You're going to go into like shock, right? You're going to go into shock. And then you're going to like cry. And you're crying because you're like happy, but you're in disbelief. And your brain is trying to navigate all of these things that are changing at once, like that. I'm definitely grateful. But like I said, it can be overwhelming. When you get it, all these signs and synchronicities and messages, it's a lot. It's overwhelming in the best of ways. Like I just need to sit with it. Like, oh, that was so. It's like having a good meal. Like you didn't overeat the meal. Like you got right to your full point. It was delicious. If you ate one more bite, it would not be there. It would not land the same way. Like you ate the perfect amount. And now you start to feel how your belly is filling up and it gets like tight because as you start to digest, it's filling up, it's getting tight, it's trying to start working through all your intestines and all that stuff, too. And when you just like, you're just like, and then it was so good. Like the meal is so good. The flavor profiles, all the different like texture, like it's like everything was just delicious. The colors. Oh, like that's what it feels like. That's what it feels like. When you get all these messages from God, it just feels like, oh, Oh, let me just let me catch my breath. Okay. But yeah, we're talking about quality. We was talking about the lotion. I mixed the lotions together. They did their thing. I'm gonna have to link mine. I already showed you theirs. Um, but I love it. I love it. Um, but the other reason why I brought up the word quality was going back to the conversation about examining our overindulgences and y'all's, or like really, I'm really just talking about me, so that y'all can maybe talk to yourselves about you. But but today I was like really examining my overindulgences. They like certain ones I feel like have been like what I would call peaking a little bit, which means to me like it's a little bit over here and it's a little bit over here. And it's not like I'm going too crazy. I'm not going like balls to the wall or like I'm, like going into it so heavy, but it's just like my intake is a little bit high there. Oh, my intake is a little bit high there. Oh, intake a little bit high there. Like, and even though I can keep I like to keep like, unless we're talking, no, with anything. Where I'm at now in life, thank God, growth, Jesus, um, is that, and especially right this moment in life, because it may change and it shifts all the time, but um, even in the things that I'm indulging in, I'm not like I'm about to sit here and eat a whole piece of pie. Like I have dessert that I haven't even eaten. Like it's been sitting there. But have I had like I don't know, have I had more sweets than usual? I don't think my sweets have been going crazy because I've been their sweets laying all over the place. I would have been fucked those up if that was that. Um but a little bit in the alcohol department, but is it like a lot or is it just like consistent? Because it's not like I feel like I'm hecka over drinking, but I feel like I'm kind of checking on it more often than I want to be checking on it. I want to forget about it a little bit. And, with other things too, like little things here and there. So, thinking about my relationship to that, um, and how one thing that I was grateful for and thought today while I was thinking about it is that instead of being so judgmental and being like, oh, you really need to stop doing this. Like maybe you saw a video that told you you need to get rid of something or stop doing this or, let go of something. And maybe you do need to let go of something. Like, I don't know. I'm not here to tell you that. But maybe you need to reevaluate how you're holding on to something maybe. And that may be something. That may be a message. Um, But yeah, for me, I wanted to change my perspective about how I was judging myself around it. So I didn't want it to be in a space of like, you need to just like, first of all, if I need to quit altogether at some point in my life, like I will get there and God will hopefully make it clear in the nicest of ways. Okay. But I also feel like where I'm at in my space, like I don't feel like I need to be completely cut off of different things. I may need to take or have a fast from one, take a long break from one or something. But I don't feel like it's a none, like it's an all or nothing sort of thing. It just feels like I need to just be in a different space with some of these things. And so, softer approach. um, and as I was talking about with the TV before, like it's not, and that's why it got me to the word quality. It's the like examining the quantity so that you can have better quality is what I want to talk about. Examining the quantity so that the quality is better. Because, like I said, I haven't been watching TV as much, which has been great. But yesterday, or was it yesterday? Probably yesterday, when I was like, oh, I haven't, watched TV for a second. Let me They're on something. And there was this movie that was, suggested. Shout out to the movie Straw with Taraji P. Henson and Sherry Shepherd. Okay. And Tiana Taylor. Like, shout out to y'all. That was and the producers, the writers, all of that. TP, you know, um, or TP Studios. That's kind of funny. That's the TP Studios. Funny, funny. Um, but I watched that, and that was like, that was, my mom kept telling me, you need to watch it, you need to watch it, you need to watch it. And I was like, I'm gonna watch it. I just like know it feels like I know I need to be in a I need to have enough space to watch it. Girl, the first 20 minutes I said, pause. 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 This already feels like too much. It already feels like too much. Let me pause. So the movie was crazy, but it was a great, 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 great production, film, acting, like exceptional. Up there. Up there. Okay. Um, it was really good. But I needed a moment after that. But it was worth it. It to me, I feel like I take that versus mindlessly watching 4 or 5 hours of like TV that I don't give two crackles about. Like two crackles about. I don't care. Sometimes you just put stuff on so it watches you. So it like knows out your brain. And sometimes you may need that. Sometimes you may need to just like escape from the world for a hot second. But like, what would you rather? What would you rather? So that is the message. Like choosing what you want. There is something really that's been heavy on my spirit about like, you have the option of looking at one thing. You have the option of looking at anything however you want. Do you want to look at it positively or negatively? Do you want to focus on the fear of it or focus on your hope of it or your belief or your inner knowing of it? Choose what you believe in. Choose what you want to believe in. Choosing what makes you happy. Okay. I'm really trying to get off of this live because I think I'm sort of done. It's a little late. I said my energy is starting to feel real drained right now. I think the biggest thing was trying to make sure that I get on here and talk to you guys. I also wanted to make sure I just read off like the main things of that Mercury rules outside of just communication, so that maybe you can have um, be softer with yourself about maybe what's coming up for this hump day for you. Okay. Ooh. Time with water. Before I get off though, before I read this other stuff, I told you guys that I went to water. I also said something else that can help you navigate some of this. What I'm going to do for myself, right? Not only time with water, but drink water. I'm after I do this, I'm going to hydrate a little bit more. I have been hydrating throughout the day, some, but I'm going to do a little extra push before I end my night. On top of that, I wrote down waves and wind. Okay. Because while I was looking at the water, I was like, very seldomly do you see calm waters all the time. Like there's going to be some ripples. And today it wasn't like crazy ripples, but there were ripples. And with the fact that there's ripples, that means that there's a multitude of things going on. Not only is it the wind, there's wind, right? There's the tectonic plates that shift, right? There's the things that's actually in the water that swim or crawl or float, right? Um, it could be any of those motorboats and stuff too that fall in the same category, or some sort of boat apparatus, whatever. But like, there's a lot going on, number one. And the wind is a huge part of that too. And the wind is a really cool concept to sit with a lot of times because, um, and of course, being in this color, oh yes, child, um, well, um, one of the quotes that always comes up when I even just contemplate the thought of wind is, or not quotes, but the story or like the reality is that like a plant or a tree, right? And really a tree, like it needs wind. It needs wind. It needs wind in order to stabilize. The message is so real today. To establish stronger foundation and roots. The tree needs the wind to push and pull and nudge and push and pull and nudge in order for it to excite the roots to establish themselves deeper into the ground to create a stronger foundation. Y'all be safe out there. Y'all be good out there. Y'all take care of yourselves, okay? Because like, and care for your spirit because okay. I'm just going to leave that part right there. Mercury Wednesdays are about communication. Because I keep blowing my own mind and distracting myself, okay? That's why I gotta push off of this video. My mind keeps being like, what are you saying to me? I'm distracted. What do you mean? This is too much. This is too much. This was not supposed to happen on, like, this wasn't supposed to happen on camera. I felt like I went for a walk yesterday that was just like, I felt bombarded with messages about this person to where I felt like, oh my God, I'm a little overwhelmed. This is a lot. And then I felt like, the reality of like what was going on last night, or what felt like the reality of what was going on last night, it shook me up in a different way. And I was like, ugh. And then today feeling like, still like this video in itself is like 1, 2, 3 on the freaking clock. That's also been a message. 1, 2, 3. Keeps blowing my mind. It gets like, what do you mean, God? It's so funny too, because I kept asking God today, I need more confirmation. Like, and it's not that I need an over confirmation. I'm just like, a video I had watched the other day was saying that if it's your kingdom spouse, right? If you subscribe to that, if it's your kingdom spouse, like God will be confirming it every day. As I drop the pen, God will be confirming it every day. Every day. So, here we are in this video. Mercury rules communication. I don't know how long this video is going to stay up because this feels like y'all in my business, okay? Communication, but it has some good messages, so I'm about it. Intellect and mind, right? How you think, we were already talking about that. How you think, reframing, all of that stuff, right? What are you telling yourself? What do you want to tell yourself? What do you want? Then travel and commerce. Sure, traveling. We were talking about boat. We are talking about traveling. Journey. You don't know me. I just wrote these down right before I got on live, so I didn't even really have time to digest. I was just like, I'm about to read them off or something. Um, yeah, travel and commerce. Money was something that came up quite a lot, or just like the money dealings, and having like, needing to move one thing here, move there, doing the money game a little bit, and then just like still those little underlying works about doing the belief work around money, or like what are you telling yourself around money. That was kind of in my spirit today a lot too. So that makes sense, at least for me. Technology is talking about being, you guys get it, right? And y'all watching me live, right? Or watching me on replay of my live using technology. That's how we got here. Welcome. Mental quickness and adaptability. Trickster and messenger. Trickster. What do you think is going on? What's really going on? What's the message behind it? Ooh. And the last thing, it says influence on relationships. Like, that's literally what this video was about. Wednesdays. So we'll see how this shows up in future Wednesdays. I did want to bring that up in regards to like Wednesday, Adams Wednesday, Adams. But maybe that's going to be for next week. Maybe that'll be the theme. Maybe I'll dress in black next Wednesday. I'll be in black next Wednesday so we can talk about me. Who knows? If so, God will remind me to do it and make it natural. Okay? Because today was just a day. So I'm grateful. Spirit, thank you. God, the divine, the most high. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for clearing pathways in my mind and the minds of others. I appreciate it. Everybody do a little extra self-care. Do some art. That was the last thing I wanted to say. Last thing, do some art. Okay? Be by water and do art. That'll help process. I'm going to do some art when I get off of here too. I'm going to drink some water and I'm going to do a little bit of art. And I may just lay down. I'm like still tired. I took a nap, but I'm tired today. So listen to yourself. Listen to what your body needs. You're probably in transition. Love y'all. See y'all next time.